from the Bozeman Public Library Children's Department with another story time. I feel like it's springtime out there. I'm sure you do too. I'm sure we'll still get a little bit of snow before everything settles down. But anyways, I don't know about you, but I've been outside a lot and I have seen some new birds that have migrated back. I'm wondering if any one of you have seen any new birds. I've seen a robin. Have you seen a robin? And I've also seen red-winged blackbirds. They like to live in the watery areas, kind of where cattails are. And they have a very distinct call. I'll play it for you. Let's be really quiet and we'll listen to the red-winged blackbird's call. Now let's compare that to another bird, the robin. Let's listen to the robin's call. Wow, and I have one more for us to listen to. All states have a state bird, and our state bird is the, does anyone know? The meadowlark. Here's the meadowlark's call. They're all very different, aren't they? Well, I wanted to read books today about robins because I love springtime when they come out. Robins need our help at this time. There's not a lot of food on the ground, especially if we get another snow, and it's good to give them raisins of all things. So in the spring, I always scatter raisins around where I've seen the robins in my backyard and my front yard, just so I know they have something good to eat. All right, so let's start with our book. This is called A Nest Full of Eggs, and it's all about a mama and a daddy robin having a baby and in their nest, right? There's their eggs in a nest. And I wonder if you know anything already about robins or birds, how they build their nests, what kind of materials they use, why they have to build a nest. Why is that important? Well, I've seen birds use dry grass and mud, anything they can find. Sometimes they'll find string and feathers on the ground. I've seen them use dryer, lint, fabric, anything they can find. And let's think about, why do they build a nest? They have to make a nice safe place for their babies, don't they? They have to sit on the eggs and keep them warm. Then they have to raise them until they're old enough to fly on their own. So just like you need a nice cozy house, so do they. All right, let's start our book. This is called A Nest Full of Eggs. It's by Priscilla Bells Jenkins and illustrated by Lizzie Rockwell. We should probably thank our publisher. Let's see, HarperCollins, thanks so much. Listen, chirp, 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 chirp. That is the song of a robin. It must be spring. Up in a tree outside my window, a pair of American robins are very busy. They are gathering dry weeds and twigs. They work carefully, but quickly. It's almost time. Can you find the little mama in her nest? The female, that's the girl, the woman, the female weaves the weeds and twigs together with bits of mud that dries like glue. She adds more mud, pressing it with her breast into a cup shape, so she leans against it. You can see in that second picture, it's kind of like we would use our hands. Then she lines the bottom of the cup with a bed of soft grass. There, the nest is strong, safe, and snug. Now it's ready. Oh, look at all those different nests. Some have no eggs. One has 1 egg, 2 eggs, 3 eggs, and 4 eggs. Can you find those? Over the next few days, the female robin lays 4 beautiful blue eggs in the nest. She is sitting on the nest now, keeping the eggs warm. Her mate is close by. He sings loudly, warning other robins to stay away. Inside each egg is a tiny new life. It is growing very fast. The yellow yolk is its liquid food. The clear albumin, which we call the white of an egg, is its watery cushion. Day after day, the mother robin sits on the eggs, patiently waiting. That they have a diagram of the egg, the yolk, the air sac. Oh, did they say what the air sac is for? They didn't. And the shell and the albumin, the white part. The little boy says, it must be nice and warm in there. And the little girl says, that white spot in the middle, that's the beginning of life. Oh, here's what the baby chick looks like, or the baby bird looks like at 3 days and 5 days. So at 3 days, the life begins to look like a head, a backbone, a heart, and eyes. Already the heart is beating within 3 days. Can you see the eye, the big black circle? And the heart's the little red? After 5 days, a beak, 2 wings, 2 legs, and a tail are taking shape. It is beginning to look like a baby bird in here. Can you see it? After about 8 days, the robin is completely formed, right down to its toes. By the 12th day, the robin has grown so big, it is squeezed inside the egg. It has used up all the food and space. So the yolk is what they eat to stay alive in there. That's their food. And on that last picture, 12 days, no more yolk sac, it must be time to come out. You take 9 months to grow in your mom. That's a long time. This baby takes 12 days. That's a half a month. So it takes you a lot longer. Listen, beep, 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 beep. A tiny beak is breaking through an eggshell. The eggs are hatching. Crack. Out rolls a baby robin. Soon there are 4 wobbly little robins in the nest. Their parents feed them worms, berries, seeds, and insects. But the hungry nestlings are always peeping and squawking for more food. Good morning, everybody. In a few days, the baby robin opens their eyes. The baby robins open their eyes. You can see in that picture. They don't really look like birds, do they? They kind of look very different. Soft, warm down feathers begin to appear on their bodies. Now the second nest in the middle. Then bigger feathers grow and cover the down. They keep the robins dry and give them color and shape. And then at the bottom nest, after 14 days after hatching, the robins have grown their wing and tail feathers. These are their flight feathers, the feathers they will use to fly. Feathers are light but very strong. They are what makes birds so different from all other creatures on earth. Only birds have feathers. Feathers come in many shapes, sizes, and colors. The little boy says, we found these in the yard. And the girl says, let's look this one up. How do you look up a feather? They're going to look in a book, aren't they? And find out what it's from. So this next page, you can see all sorts of very beautiful feathers. I see a flamingo is the big pink one on the top. Oriole is the yellow one. The blue and black striped is a blue jay. Then on our next page, that really long one is a pheasant. There's even a peacock feather in the middle there that goes on both pages. So many. Robins, like all birds, take good care of their feathers. They comb them and straighten them with their beaks. And they clean them by taking baths in water or dust. Can you take a bath in dust? That'd be different for us. Now the young robins are ready to leave their nest, but they are not good flyers yet. They are still learning. For the next few weeks, their parents stay close to them and bring them food. That first picture says, getting a bit crowded. Looks like the mom is feeding a little red berry. Taking a stretch, stretching its wings, and then away we go. Soon the robins are ready to fly and hunt on their own. Now they can take care of themselves. Next spring, they will find mates and have nests of their own. Wow, that was kind of neat. That was the life cycle of the robin. So you might see robins soon. Usually the male robins come first and then the females will come, and you might see them building a nest. If you ever see a nest, it's best not to disturb it. You can watch it. A lot of people have nests that robins build right in their house, up against their house or in trees outside, and you can watch from a distance. You don't want to stress out the mama and the papa bird by getting too close to their nest. Well, now I've got a silly story about how this particular robin built her nest. This is called This is the Nest That Robin Built. And it took Robin, her name is Robin, a long time to find all the different materials to build this nest. So let's see how she does it. Pay close attention because our craft today is you building a nest. So we'll have to see what kind of things this robin uses, because then we can build our own nest. All right, thank you Beach Lane Books for letting me read this to my friends. The robin that back that up. This is the nest that Robin built. This is the squirrel who trimmed the twigs not too big that anchor the nest that Robin built. This is the dog who brought the string long and strong that wraps around the twigs not too big that anchor the nest that Robin built. Now, I'm going to pause for a minute. Do you hear how this story ends? The words end the very same? That anchor the nest that the robin built. This is a story that builds on each other, and we repeat the one before, and it gets longer and longer. So I'd love it at home. You could help me with the words that anchor the nest that the robin built. This is the dog who brought the string long and strong that wraps around the twigs not too big that anchor the nest that Robin built. All right, so we've got twigs and string. This is the horse who shared his straw, rough and tough, that covers the string, long and strong, that wraps around the twigs, not too big, that anchor the nest that the robin built. I'm hearing rhyming words too. Rough, tough, long, strong. Okay, so now we've got twigs, string, and straw. Oh, this is the pig. What do you think the pig is going to give the robin? She mixes the mud, soft, not soupy, that plasters the straw, rough and tough, that covers the string, long and strong, that wraps around the twigs, not too big, that anchor the nest that the robin built. All right, mud. Oh, a mouse. What could a mouse bring to the nest? This is the mouse who gathered the weeds, dotted with seeds, that bind the mud, soft, not soupy, that plasters the straw, rough and tough, that covers the string, long and strong, that wraps around the twigs, not too big, that anchor the nest that Robin built. Ooh, who knows what animal that is? It's a rabbit. This is the rabbit who picked the grass, fresh and sweet, that cushions the weeds, dotted with seeds, that binds the mud, soft, not soupy, that plasters the straw, rough and tough, that covers the string, long and strong, that wraps around the twigs, not too big, that anchor the nest that the robin built. Oh, you know what those are from our first book. Can we count them together? How many eggs are in that nest? 1, 2, 3. These are the eggs, brittle and blue, that lay on the grass, fresh and sweet, that cushion the weeds, dotted with seeds, that bind the mud, soft, not soupy, that plasters the straw, rough and tough, that covers the string, long and strong, that wraps around the twigs, not too big, that anchor the nest that the robin built. Oh, we've seen those in our first book. These are the nestlings. Tuft and pink, that crack the eggs, brittle and blue, that lay on the grass, fresh and sweet, that cushions the weeds, dotted with seeds, that bind the mud, soft, not soupy, that plasters the straw, rough and tough, that covers the that covers the string, long and strong, that wraps around the twigs, not too big, that anchor the nest that Robin built. And this is the robin who built the nest. Now, this is fun. Look how this spreads out. And then, and this is the robin who built the nest that anchored with twigs, not too big, wrapped with string, long and strong, covered with straw, rough and tough, plastered with mud, soft, not soupy, bound with weeds, dotted with seeds, cushioned with grass, fresh and sweet, who laid the eggs brittle and blue, cracked by the nestlings, tuft and pink. Now, young fledglings, rumpled and ruffled and ready to fly. Not too sure about that, is he? There they go, and the mama says, goodbye. And that little baby bird looks a little nervous. But in the end, everything looks good, doesn't it? The mom's watching her 3 little babies fly away. So working on for the craft, you can call in our curbside pickup and pick it up with your book bundle. And I'll show you the craft back at the library, and then you can sure call. I hope you can find some robins and watch them build their nests this spring, and maybe you'll even see the babies. You know a baby robin by it has little white speckles on its chest. All right, thanks for another story time. I can't wait to see you next week. Bye-bye. All right, I'm back here at the library, and I want to show you what our craft is for today. But before I do that, I wanted to show you this robin's nest we have at the library. Someone brought this in, and you can kind of see, it had a little hole in it. Maybe that's where it was adhered to the tree, but you can see that it's made of grass and mud. And look at this interesting thing. Right here, I think that is landscaping fabric that people use to keep weeds out of their garden. So this bird, oh, and then this little thing, this is some kind of plastic piece of something. So birds use all sorts of things to make their nests. They can use moss and twigs and leaves. And so what you get to do, if you call here at the library and request our robin craft, we will have it for you for curbside pickup. You can include this in your book bundle. You'll get one of these sheets, and here's the directions, and then here's some interesting facts about robins' nests. And what you'll do is you'll also get a brown paper bag, and if you can't come into the library, you could certainly make this at home by drawing these pictures. And if you don't have a brown paper bag, you can use whatever you can find. I think if a robin can do it, you can probably do it. So you'll get a brown paper bag like this, and you can roll it and punch it up until it's about the shape and size of that nest. And then you get to go outside and find interesting things to create your nest. I found some old plants, some newspaper. I found some old leaves. This is an old sweet pea flower. I thought we could take some of this. And think about a nest would be where your babies would be. So you wouldn't want it to be rough material. If you want to get really adventurous and it's okay with your parents, you could even get some mud to put this together, like we saw. How the robins put their nest together with mud, and then they push it into that little cup shape. So that's it kind of looks like a little, almost like a bowl. So after you get all of your grasses and leaves put in, you can do them on the outside too, you're gonna cut out your robin that's on that paper, and you will glue her on the end. And then these are the little nestlings. Look how hungry they are. And you can put those right in. And look, you have your own little nest. So please give us a call, ask for the robin's nest craft, and we'll have that ready for you to pick up. You can also call for a book bundle if you're not familiar with those. You just call and request books your children are interested in, or maybe you have a 5-year-old who loves horses. We can gather some horse books. We can get anything for you from the library and have it available for curbside pickup. Also, we are opening back up on March 30th, Tuesday. It's going to be from 10 to 6, Tuesday through Friday, and then 10 to 2 on Saturdays, closed Sunday and Monday. And we'll have limited capacity, and it'll be a quick in and out visit just to browse, get books, and go. We're not allowing any seating or programming at this time. But we're looking forward to opening up in about a week and a half, and I hope you have a great week. Thank you. A-Rod.